welcome to The Nation. I'm Elaine Noor Abdullah. Now today we're focusing on a game changer in the travel industry, artificial intelligence. Now AI is revolutionizing how we plan and experience our trips, from tailored travel recommendations to seamless bookings. Joining me in the studio is Uzaidi Udanis, founder and chairman, Your Inbound Matters, to give us a closer look at how AI is enhancing the tourism landscape, making travel smarter and more personalized than ever before. Is AI the new era of tourism? Thank you for joining us on this episode. Now, Uzaidi, I'm really looking forward to hearing all about AI. Now, AI has been touted as changing the landscape on a lot of fronts in terms of industry. And for travel, I think this seems a very exciting frontier. Now, I'll jump into the first question. How is AI transforming the travel and tourism industry? And what are some of the most significant impacts you have observed?
Well, Elaine, actually not yet. Not yet. What you see now is maybe totally different. Going to be in another 1 or 2 months or 3 months. So it's going to be very fast because the government, or the big companies are investing on it. The big companies are spending their resources, their time, and also their money on AI. But again, AI is not new. Again, AI is since 1950s. You know, 1950s, Alan Turing has started the AI revolutions. And 1997, IBM already proved that the machine, the AI, can beat chess champion.
Of course.
1997. Yes. So it's already evolved very fast. Only 2 years ago, it was opened up to the public. And I think based on the industry, tourism industry, we have numbers of segments. Of course, the aviation, the airlines is adapting it on the dynamic pricing, so they can go based on the high demand and low demand on the pricing. And of course, the self check-in, this is make it easier for the customers. And also the hotels also have what they call self check-in. And but on the transportation, you go based on transportation segment. Elon Musk has trying their best to to create the self-drive less driver, less driverless, what they call it. But it's still ongoing and still yet to be developed. Singapore is doing it now. That's pre-made. I think it's going to be soon. And of course, if you're talking about the tours and everything, there's plenty of things that has been going on, but not yet. What we see here only but maybe 2 or 3%. What will we expect in next few months?
There's more to come. I can already smell it in the air. It's very exciting because I think I know you said that AI has been around for a long time, but AI in the hands of everybody is quite recent. It's quite a new thing that everybody has access to, the ability to use the kind of computing power in order for us to be able to make our lives easier. So I'm looking forward to being able to have someone plan all my itinerary with just a click of a button, right? It's literally like a travel concierge. I mean, for everyday travelers and everyday users, that's sort of like the immediate sort of low-hanging fruits that you're looking to be able to grasp. You're not having to rely on someone. You can actually do all your research on your own before you actually dive into where shall I travel to. So this is an exciting future that we're looking forward to. Now, the next question, AI obviously relies heavily on data, right? Data is sort of like the king here, right? Which raises significant privacy concerns. All of us have sort of given up all our sort of information without sort of payment, but there's also a lot of data concerns here. How can the tourism industry balance the benefits of AI with the need to protect traveler privacy and avoid potential misuse of personal data? What are your thoughts on this?
I think Elaine, these are the valid questions. In fact, I've received a lot of questions based on data. But the moment we use a smartphone, the moment we use a social media, we have sold our data.
Yes, we are offered it
automatically for free. So the platform are taking advantage of it, and in fact they know better than us. Our smartphones know me better than my wife.
Yes.
What's all the secrets and everything.
And yourself.
So I won't dare to give the code, password code to her. But that's the thing is, it's very complicated.
Right.
And what we need is to make sure that the public knows. And we need to have awareness.
Right.
And one is the awareness. We need to train. What is the implication of these the data? And of course, the regulations takes important part because the government, I think they're very serious on terms of data mining. And again, the big companies are also aware. as you know that iPhone now at the moment now they're trying to restrict on the data, so that whenever we download the apps, we've been asked, saying, do you allow the data to to be passed around to third party, everything. So that makes there's a pro and cons, and the con is the Facebook now is very expensive. The ads is very expensive because the data is very hard to find, hard to get it from the mobile or they call the phone provider. Right. So all these things are pro and cons, but again we have to be aware. We have to be trained, and we have to make sure that the government is enforcing on this data privacy.
And what you're saying, it's the viewer's responsibility as well to understand that this is the information that they're sharing.
Yep.
And I think there's sort of like a balance point with regards to data. What we are willing to offer is the ability to gain insights. What machine learning does is create sort of like patterns of information that allow you to predict better, to plan better, make it more efficient, right? Yes, but what we don't want is our personal information leaked out, which means who is going where, who is coming back when, which of course becomes sort of like a security concern. But the data in terms of flow, we would like to know if the traffic is heavy at this point of time. We don't want to be traveling at that point of time. If it's peak, non-peak, those are data that's collected that eases the planning process versus the information that is personal to an individual person that should be protected. I shouldn't know where ID is going at every single moment, right? But I would like to know that if Malaysians typically travel from this destination to this destination, in order for me to plan if I want to make it a more affordable trip, or if I'm unconcerned about the affordability, I'm then paying for services to ease my travel concerns, right?
It's advantage and disadvantage. Even if you travel to certain places which is so crowded, so we know that the AI will see that this is crowded time seasons. Don't go there.
Yes,
you can go to other places, or you can go to different time seasons. So this, I think, will help us as a traveler to plan their holiday,
and allows you to advise travelers better as well. Now, in my next question, what challenges does the tourism industry face in adopting AI, and how can these be overcome? What are some of your initial sort of teething issues, and what are the future that you potentially see?
I think the AI should be the game. We don't want to be a user. We want to be a developer. We want to be a producer. We don't want to just be a consumer. So therefore, the small players need to be on board. The small players need to be on board. They require some skills. They require some investments. And these are the things that is very concerned, or our concern, because it's not a big boys game. It's everybody's game. So we need all the small players to be on board, to learn and to digitalize their business using this AI.
But it's expensive, so that's what everybody complains about. What's your response to that?
Well, actually, the thing is, it can be divided. It can be, for example, there are what you call AI provider. We can use the AI provider on subscription basis. We don't have to spend money on all this coding, on all these cloud things, everything. We can just go on based on monthly. So it requires some small investment, but it requires a lot of trainings, and it requires a lot of helps from the government to support on these initiatives. We need the money to be here, so we don't want the developer to be outside. So we need to develop the developer and the coders, or whatever, those who are expert in coding on this. So I think you have to look into the bigger picture, that this is a very new industry that we have to take advantage of.
Upgrading our knowledge base in order for us to be self-sustaining within our sort of like shores. Now, in the next question, how can smaller tourism businesses or destinations leverage AI to remain competitive, because it's a super competitive landscape, with larger, more tech-savvy players in the industry? I mean, there's so much input and information that's bombarding you these days, especially on social media. How do they compete?
Yeah, that's right. Now, because we are so busy in terms of day-to-day business, we need to make sure that the future is with us. We know that AI will help us, but of course, first thing first, the small players need to be on board, digitalized. What we can see here in Malaysian tourism players, they are not really digitalized. We need to be on board first, digitalized, to make sure that they be accessible. If you check on Google's or things to do in Kelantan or things to do in everywhere, nothing much. It's just more on information, and they cannot do bookings compared to certain places. So we need to be on board. We need to make sure that the tourists, the future tourists, that can do reservation, can make it convenient for them to make reservations. Must be on board first. Then rather than we use the AI. So first thing first, digitalization.
And whose task is that? Who's going to take the lead and take charge on that front?
Of course, if you own business, of course, it's your responsibility to make sure that you are relevant.
Right.
No longer, the tourists are no longer like before, where they have a big crowd, a big number of tourists. Now it's more individual.
Yes.
When was your last time, when you used travel agents?
Never.
That's one thing. Yeah,
I have
that's
not.
right. So you are using the smartphone. You are
Correct.
using now you are using personal assistants in AI.
Yep.
So therefore, you have to be on board, so that they can make reservations. When they do reservations, they can go to the business to you.
There must be something that they're offering that I want in order for me to reach out to an alternative vendor or a source instead of being able to find this information myself. So yes, that's, if you want to remain competitive in the business, you have to work at it as well. Now, the next question before we go for a break, many fear that AI could replace human jobs. This is a big fear, right? In tourism, particularly in customer service and operations. What strategies can be implemented to ensure that AI complements rather than replaces the human workforce? I strictly believe that you can never replace the human, but AI can be a complement. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think especially the world leaders, the business leaders, they want us to think that AI can replace us. Elon Musk, you see, in few months or few years, AI will replace human beings. I don't think so.
No.
Because AI is just a program. It's just a machine.
Support.
It's just a machine. So who feed the machine? The human being feed the machine. Do you think that with the AI can be better than human? No. It can be complement. It can be more on strategically, or if it can monitor those statistics and everything, but it cannot be better than humans. So it's up to us. It's up to us how the machine can help us. How the machine can make it more convenient.
And I foresee that this is just changing how jobs work, but it will not replace humans, but we have to upskill in order for us to be able to use these tools to better work. We'll take a short breather right now. When we come back, we'll have more questions. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back on The Nation. You're still with me, Elaine Noor Abdullah, and in the studio and speaking to Uzaidi Udanis, and we're speaking about the topic of artificial intelligence and how it's shaping the future of tourism. Now, Uzaidi, I think we had sort of like a good start in the first half. We talked about, what's in the market, what's next. Now, let's jump in quickly to as AI becomes more integrated into tourism. You're saying that, yes, now it's sort of like the teething phases, but more will come. What are the potential risks of over-reliance on this technology? What are some of the pitfalls that you've noticed so far?
I think AI is coming in very fast. And we need to learn how to adapt it. We need to learn how to leverage it. That's very important. So we need a lot of trainings, need to how we can integrate and how we will leverage the AI system platforms. But again, if you depend so much, then we lost on our personal touch. Because tourism is about personal touch. It's about hospitality.
Completely.
Do you want to go to other place, country, all the way to other country, and you just interact with the machine in the airport,
no, absolutely
hotels in the machine,
No.
and also the tour guide is just a machine and the car is a machine. Do you want to do that?
Where's the warmth?
Yes. So we need to the human touch is very important. So of course we need to maintain it and to make sure that this human are upgraded in terms of skills, in terms of knowledge, because now the tourists now is getting more sophisticated and more educated. And of course, if we depend so much, that's what happened recently when we had the scout strike. We depend so much on the technological everything. So everything is just one error, is all gone.
Yes.
So we don't want to do that. So we must have a balanced act on this technology, depending on technology. But again, it's a huge potential. And they are machines, these are like calculator.
Yes.
Calculator is not smarter than us. We need to feed the numbers. So again, we need to feed this information to AI.
You still need to have the information on hand, but you are reliant on AI for all the things that could speed up and make your processes more efficient. And for me, as you mentioned clearly, with regards, especially with travel and tourism, it's all about the human touch. It's all about the interaction. It's all about the service and the warmth of the country. I mean, a country and a location is a hull if it's not inhabited provided by the people that's going to welcome you into the home. A home is nothing without the inhabitants of it. So I feel that, we will never be completely replacing that whole sort of like service culture. But it really enhances being able to know what was your last preferred meal, preferred bed type, preferred pillows. That really helps me with like, they know all my details without me having to specify it at every single juncture. So that really helps. Now, can you share examples of how AI is enhancing personalization in travel recommendations and services? Have you seen examples of that?
Well, I think I've seen a lot. But it's not yet fully developed. The thing is, as I said, the AI know better. They have all your background. They know what kind of dishes, your favorite dish. You say what kind of pillow you like. So these things he helps. So the small companies, whatever, need to leverage this kind of informations for them to have good experience. So in Malaysia, we have so many products, but yet we have yet to expose it. We keep it all secrets. So we want to, for example, the traditional dance, the food, all kind of foods. We have so many races here. We want to explore all this festival. In fact, in next few days we have this Maha. Maha is one of the oldest agriculture expo in the world. It's 100 years old. Can you imagine that we are organizing one of the oldest agriculture festival, where agriculture is one of the sustainable element. And now everybody loves sustainable. All kind of sustainable. Sustainable is sexy.
I know, but there needs to be tapered with a amount of realism as well. Now, I just wanted to ask, have you been to or traveled to or experienced something that has like the full AI offering that you think is the future?
Well, I think the online travel agent, or OTA, we call it OTA, now they are trying to adapt. They know what you want and what kind of design. So they in terms of bookings, I think whether you realize or not, the bookings, hotel bookings, they know you. They know you. They work what kind of rooms, what kind of budgets that you want. So I think almost everybody already have already gone through all this AI, a little bit on experiment on AI. I've been through, but not fully yet. But I hope not, because we are preparing for what we call it AI phobia.
Oh, AI phobia. What is AI phobia?
Everybody was machine. Do you know that maybe one day they want to have a personal touch? They want to go to this. So they have been phobia of all the machine, all the answering machines. I was the fast food just now. When they order, it's a machine.
Yes, I agree. So, I completely
we want
dislike that.
We want humans. So I think there'll be a time to come. There will be a AI phobia. So that's where we come in. We want to offer better service, human touch service with the helps of AI, of course, but we wanted to make sure that we are going one-to-one basis.
We have that balance, right? We have a bit of both. I know, I completely agree. I really dislike having to go to a restaurant and having to scan a QR code in order for me to see a menu. I really like my physical menu. I'm sorry, but that's really who I am. Maybe you call me old school, but I like that touch, and I like someone recommending to me, telling me what is the specials of the day and what is what should you try today, and what are the most popular recommendations that are most popular with other customers. It's that connection, right, that's missing. Now, with the rise of AI, now let's talk about what skills or expertise will be the most valuable for professionals in the tourism industry moving forward. This is, of course, for anyone that's diving or still in the tourism industry and are looking at what's next for them. Should this be included in the education sector?
Yeah, Elena, I was talking to the quite a number of students in the college community recently. I did ask them what's in terms of AI, everything. I think they are the best person because they are the future leaders of our tourisms. They need to adopt this AI. In fact, they must make sure that all our products being monetized or being marketed worldwide. We have 1.3 trillion tourists all over in the world. Last year, 1.3 billion tourists. They went holiday for internationally. We only have about 28 millions. It's roughly about 2%. So how can we reach out on this balance of make it 5% by using this AI? So I think we need to do marketing, have a marketing skill through AI. We need in terms of coding, in terms of developing everything. So to make sure that this AI is not biased. As you know, the AI is getting biased.
Yes.
They know that these races is different have different personality. This racer, so it's getting biased. So
Right.
we need to make neutralize. So therefore, we need to learn the green AI, what we call it green AI, to make sure that the Prime Minister said must have adapt. Must have a very ethical AI, so that we don't misuse the AI, and we make sure that other tourists don't misuse the AI.
No, I agree. I think the AI sort of scene is skewed towards the bigger players, which is not locally sort of like housed, and therefore there will always be. It's like how elections can be skewed and biased. You know, everybody talks about this during sort of like this political struggles, and similarly with everything, you can be easily influenced by the information that you consume on a daily basis about where to go, what to eat, what are you consuming. The content that you're consuming influences your decision making process as well. So that's a great point. Now, as AI becomes more prevalent in tourism next, what strategies can be implemented to help the older generation comfortably adapt to and engage with these advancements? Because, as you mentioned, a lot of people still prefer a lot of the traditional ways. Now, how do they adapt?
Yeah, okay. I think tourism is one of the fastest way for the migration to manual, from manual to digitalized. I started in this tourism since 1985. We used to write manually tickets.
Wow.
I mean, keep the tickets in the safe.
Right.
Now it's totally different. It's everything is all digitalized.
Right.
So in fact, we need to offer a manual and also digital way. Of course, it's very difficult for the senior citizens to adapt. But I think by providing the two methods, just like bank, you can go to either internet, or you can go to ATM, or you can go to the counter. So we need to provide these options. But again, as options limited, I think this human touch, relationship is expensive. It's a premium. So of course they have to willing to pay extra on this. Yeah.
And with AI, you always need someone to guide, because you may not know how it functions, how to start with. Even for younger people, it will still take time.
Yeah.
As opposed to you going up to a counter and asking someone, how should I go about this? They'll be able to direct you in the best way, because they've been trained, they've been advised on how to lead you and navigate you through that whole system. Now, on my last question before I close, do you think Malaysian tourism sector is ready to adopt AI? So this is a big question, right?
My answer is no.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think it's improving. We need to make sure that we encourage all our players to be digitalized, to make sure that they provide the good service, and right in front of our eyes, we have a very big market that is halal tourism.
Yeah, correct.
Halal tourism. You can use AI to promote halal tourism. Is huge. It's $6 trillion market right now. So we have to adapt. I think the position is in AI. Malaysia must take advantage on AI to promote and to market halal tourism.
And we have an amazing country, we have amazing culture, we have amazing services, we have amazing people. Our food is unbelievable.
Yep.
I mean, there's nothing that's stopping us from being able to be at the forefront of tourism. Now, what are some last tips to anyone that's in this industry, and if they are fearing sort of like this oncoming AI onslaught?
Well, Elaine, tourists has changed. Their preference, their requirement, everything. So we need to adapt. There's no way we use the old way or methods. We need to adapt. So we must be fast. In Malay, we call it nak maju kena laju.
There you
so
go.
we have to have fast moving forward strategies for us to adapt the AI in tourism industry.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I think you sort of like closed that fabulously. Nak maju kena laju, right? And that's all for today's episode of The Nation. A big thank you to Uzaidi Danis for shedding light on how artificial intelligence, or AI, is shaping the future of tourism. It's not just a trend, but a transformative force in making travel more efficient and personalized. Don't miss the boat. We hope you enjoyed today's discussion and gained new insights into the exciting possibilities AI brings to the travel industry. Until next time, I'm Lynn Abdullah. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.